Part 1. Why is it unlikely they come from another star system? Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of UFOs with none other than Jacques Vallée. Jacques Vallée is a French computer scientist, astronomer, ufologist, and author who has dedicated decades to studying UFOs. Not only is he one of the creators of the internet, but he was also the first real scientist to apply a rigorous scientific approach to UFO research. Vallée has built an extensive database of UFO reports and meticulously analyzed them. Known for his multidisciplinary approach, Vallée challenges the extraterrestrial hypothesis and explores the symbolic and cultural aspects of UFO reports, linking them to historical folklore and mythology. He has even collected and analyzed UFO debris, discovering anomalous properties that suggest they might not be from Earth. Vallée has authored several must-read books for serious UFO researchers, including Messengers of Deception, Dimensions, Forbidden Science, and Passport to Magonia. So if you're ready to explore the unknown and uncover the mysteries of the universe, hit that subscribe button and join us on this incredible journey. Here are the reasons. Why is it unlikely UFOs come from outer space, according to Jacques Vallée? Distance. A light year is the distance that light travels in one Earth year. Light moves at an incredible speed of about 186,000 miles per second, 300,000 kilometers per second. Over the course of a year, this adds up to approximately 5.88 trillion miles, about 9.46 trillion kilometers. According to Einstein's theory of special relativity, as an object approaches the speed of light, its mass increases exponentially. This means that it would require an infinite amount of energy to accelerate any object with mass to the speed of light. Therefore, it's currently impossible for any matter to travel at the speed of light. Abductions. The phenomenon of alien abductions may not be what it seems, but rather a form of manipulation or mind control by some other intelligence. Someone here on Earth might have the technology to plant false memories in people's brains. Territoriality. Many UFO sightings around the world seem to be associated with military or industrial facilities, suggesting that these craft may be from Earth rather than from space. Explorers from another star system wouldn't care that much about our military facilities, but a group based here on Earth would be much more interested in them because they would pose a direct threat. Jacques Vallée isn't just any UFO researcher. He's a pioneer who looks beyond the surface. He suggests that UFOs and the beings reported in these encounters have striking similarities to ancient folklore and mythology, especially stories about fairy folk. Let's explore these intriguing parallels. Abductions and visits. In both fairy lore and UFO encounters, there's a recurring theme of beings abducting humans. Fairies were said to take people to their mystical realms, often returning them with altered perceptions of time. Similarly, modern UFO abductions often involve missing time and strange, dreamlike experiences. Mysterious lights. Fairy folklore is filled with tales of strange lights, known as will-o'-the-wisps, leading people astray in the woods. UFO sightings frequently include reports of mysterious lights in the sky, moving in ways that defy conventional explanation. Shapeshifting and appearance. Fairies were known to change their shape or appearance, often appearing as small humanoid figures with magical abilities. UFO encounters also describe beings that can change form or appear in different guises, ranging from the classic gray aliens to more human-like figures. Time distortion. Both fairy encounters and UFO abductions feature strange distortions of time. People taken by fairies might believe they've been gone for a few hours, only to find that days or years have passed. Similarly, UFO abductees often report experiencing hours of missing time. Parallel worlds. Vallée suggests that just as fairy folklore speaks of otherworldly realms that coexist with our own, UFO phenomena might represent interactions with a hidden reality or parallel dimensions. He calls this hidden reality Magonia, inspired by medieval legends of a land in the clouds. Symbolic and cultural influence. Both fairy folk and UFOs seem to adapt to the cultural context of the times. Fairies were a prominent part of pre-industrial society's beliefs, while UFO sightings have surged in the modern era of technology and space exploration. Vallée and others, like John Keel, propose that these phenomena might be manifestations of an underlying reality that changes its appearance based on human culture and consciousness. Human influence. In folklore, fairies were believed to interact with humans, to influence their behavior in societies subtly. Similarly, Vallée posits that UFO encounters might have a purpose beyond mere physical interaction, potentially aiming to shape human beliefs, culture, and technological progress. By examining these similarities, Vallée challenges the straightforward extraterrestrial hypothesis, suggesting that UFOs and fairy folk could both be part of a more complex, hidden reality that has been interacting with humanity for centuries. Too many of them to be just a probe from another planet. NASA has sent 50 missions to Mars so far, and we have thousands of reports from all over the world of UFO sightings, and many of them are by trained pilots and military. The sheer number of reports suggests that this is something more than an exploratory mission, and it's not an invasion either. TikTok Nimitz bends spacetime with anti-gravity and looks like Tic Tac. He says on the video, there's a whole fleet of them. Fleet? Not a probe or exploratory mission? Not an invasion? What's that fleet doing here?
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
To learn more about how anti-gravity can affect space-time, watch my other video on Grebennikov and his discoveries. Those things have been here for a long time. They just have super advanced stealth technologies and are really good at escaping our detection, which would not be so hard for a far more technologically advanced intelligence. Only a small percent get reported. Most of the people who have encounters or see a UFO never reported officially because of the stigma. Think about how many encounters are never reported. John Keel, another researcher who has come to similar conclusions after investigating thousands of cases. Here are the main points in his book, Operation Trojan Horse. Psychological manipulation. Keel posits that the phenomena are designed to manipulate human perception and beliefs. The consistent elements of UFO sightings, strange lights, humanoid figures, missing time, might be engineered to play on deep-seated fears and cultural archetypes. Ultra-terrestrial hypothesis. Keel introduces the idea of ultra-terrestrials, beings that exist alongside us but are not from another planet. These entities could be responsible for the manipulations, presenting themselves in various forms throughout history, from fairies and demons to modern-day aliens. Consistency. Across cultures and time, the similarities between UFO encounters and ancient folklore led Keel to believe that these phenomena are not random or purely physical, but are part of a long-standing tradition of human experience with a hidden intelligence. Keel's conclusion. In Operation Trojan Horse, John Keel suggests that the UFO phenomenon might be a massive, intricate psychological operation aimed at influencing human culture and perception. Whether orchestrated by human agencies or ultra-terrestrial beings, the goal seems to be more about shaping beliefs and behaviors than simple space travel. The Crypto-Terrestrials by Mac Tonnies is a thought-provoking book that explores an alternative explanation to the UFO and alien phenomena. Instead of attributing these mysteries to extraterrestrial origins, Tonnies introduces the crypto-terrestrial hypothesis. Here's a brief summary of the key ideas presented in the book. Aliens as terrestrial beings. The hypothesis suggests that the entities commonly referred to as aliens might actually be a terrestrial species that has evolved alongside humans. These beings are thought to possess advanced technologies or abilities that allow them to remain hidden from human society. Historical misinterpretations. Throughout history, these beings may have been interpreted as mythological creatures like fairies or elves. The idea is that either these crypto-terrestrials have cultivated such myths as a form of camouflage, or humans have created these stories as a coping mechanism to explain their presence. Genetic interactions. Many abduction stories involve aliens conducting genetic experiments or creating hybrids. Tonnies argues that if these beings are indeed terrestrial, it would make more sense for them to be genetically compatible with humans, as opposed to extraterrestrial life forms. It's worth mentioning how he died. He died in his sleep just before he published his manuscript. It was brought to his editor by his family. He was a 34-year-old man, vegetarian, who was climbing for exercise, so he was healthy, non-smoker.
Whatever UFOs might ultimately prove to be, and we might never find out, it seems to me that they are definitely worth scientific consideration, if for no other reason than they affect how we think and how we perceive our universe. They apparently have been recurring throughout time, and they have infringed upon our belief systems to the point where we now think of the alien as something very specific. And if for no other reason than understanding how our mind reacts to the presence of a possible other in our midst, I think it's imperative that we understand UFOs and what they are.
Another person who supports the ultra-terrestrial hypothesis is Hal Puthoff. He has a research paper on it. Link in description. He is a figure involved in UAPs from a long time ago and has been connected to other key figures like Jack Valley and Lou Elizondo. Harold E. Puthoff, PhD, has been significantly involved in the field of ufology. Here are some key points about his involvement. Stargate Project. In the 1970s and 1980s, Puthoff directed a program at the Stanford Research Institute, SRI, to investigate paranormal abilities, including remote viewing. This project, known as the Stargate Project, also explored the potential connection between psychic phenomena and UFOs. 1. AUSAP ATIP. Puthoff served as the chief scientist on the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Applications Program, AYABUSAP, and the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AOTAPI, two closely related UFO research programs. 1. To the Stars Academy. In the 2010s, Puthoff co-founded the UFO dedicated company To the Stars Academy with Tom DeLonge. This organization focuses on the scientific study of UFOs and related phenomena. 1. Research and publications. Puthoff has published various papers and articles on the subject of UFOs and unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, contributing to the scientific discourse on these topics. His work has been influential in bringing scientific attention to the study of UFOs and related phenomena. So what's really going on? Here's my hypothesis based on what I have found out so far in my research. There are cryptoterrestrials on Earth and a covert human breakaway group working with them. Are the cryptoterrestrials flesh and blood, or are they interdimensional beings? I think it's a mixture of both. They can phase shift from material to ethereal beings, just like the being in this video can turn from material to shadow form. That's why, in folklore, they were often described as spirits by the people. And even today in Russia, we have tribal people believing that Yeti is a spirit. This breakaway group is above governments. It doesn't have an allegiance with a particular country. We know about one breakaway group for sure, the Imperial Germans. I will show you all the documents and evidence I found about it later in this documentary. Most likely later, joined by people from the U.S. intelligence services. Lots of researchers have found out about black projects and crash retrieval programs. Have you ever wondered why are those UFOs crashing if they're super advanced alien technology and we have multiple crashes? They are being shot down. This is part of the secret war against the breakaway group, or a war between different breakaway groups. We know for sure that U.S. Black Ops groups are involved in those crash retrievals. I will talk about it later in this video. Probably they have infiltrated some governments, most likely the U.S. government, as the #1 superpower on Earth. We have the PSYOP of space aliens and the Hollywood UFO propaganda. This is the wall they want the general public to look at. Behind it, we have the human breakaway group and the cryptoterrestrials, who are most likely remnants of an antediluvian civilization. We don't know if those groups are fighting or working together, or both. We might have different groups of humans and cryptoterrestrials. One such group of humans that we know about is the Imperial Germans. Groups of cryptoterrestrials we know about are the tall whites, Atlanteans, and little people. We could also have the ultra-terrestrials, non-human entities, NHE. They might be interdimensional or made of dark matter, so undetectable by us. Their existence is theoretical. I haven't found much proof about them. Keep in mind that none of those groups comes from outer space, but they are all using the smokescreen of space aliens to cover themselves. That's the purpose of the UFO propaganda, to make us believe in space aliens. Here I will present all the evidence for it.